All right, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 4 3-minute rounds, and it is brought to you by Robert Irvin's Fit Crunch. When we begin the action, the official in charge is Chris Riskus. Introducing first, boxing out of the blue corner. He wears the black and white trim and weighed in tonight at 147 pounds. He brings a record of 2 victories with 0 defeats. From Charleston, West Virginia, Pinnacle Swiss Sanders. And his opponent, representing the red corner, wearing the green and gold shorts tonight, is a veteran of 21 professional fights. From Fairchance, Pennsylvania, Eric the Gentleman Palmer.
You know, I remember watching this guy fight when he fought Hutchinson. I just, and he's coming. He's going to be a great fight. He's actually got a lot of skills, a lot more skills than his record would suggest. Now that I remember who he is.
Yeah, I believe that he fought Hutchinson at Mountaineer Casino. Yeah.
No, he fought Hutch here. He fought Conway at
Okay.
I was supposed to be on that card, but I got cut and had to pull out, wait for the cut to heal.
So the bell rings. We're ready to rock and roll. Again, this is 4 3-minute rounds in the lightweight division.
Immediately you can see the first thing that Palmer does, he's got great footwork, or he's got better footwork than his opponent, I should say. Both of the guys keep the weight in their front foot, which is going to, if one of them lets a big right through and it lands, it's going to be a hard right to eat. But right now,
Sanders is a fighter who Palmer is a fighter that brings the pressure, and I think that Sanders is going to want to boost up that left hand a little bit if he wants to stay in this till the end.
Oh, absolutely. Once again, that right hand, if I had to gamble with one of these guys decides to let it go, it's going to hurt because of the balance. The balance is on the front foot and not having the hands up. You got to keep your hands up, man. Those are little gloves. People don't understand how hard those gloves feel.
That's right.
These guys are lighter, so they're fighting 8-ounce gloves. 8 ounces is not a lot. That's just enough to keep your hand from being busted up when you do hit somebody. It's not for you, or so rather, it's not to make it feel good when they hit you like the amateurs, or at least to not build for pressure. It's a method of transferring force to hurt the guy as much as you can.
It looks like Sanders is taking his time trying to work the straight punches, and Palmer's throwing some loopers.
Sanders has got no snap behind any of the punches he's throwing, but he's putting pressure on him. He's actually defending kind of well. He's being active. He's touching them and he's giving them something to think about. You can distract your opponent in 2 ways. You can hurt him, or you can give him something to worry about. Right now, Sanders is keeping that jab in his face, a little pawing jab, but he's still effective at making sure that Palmer respects what he can do.
And as you're talking, there it is a couple more times. It's referee Chris Riskus in the ring with them. Former professional heavyweight boxer from the state of Pennsylvania.
Great guy to talk to, too. That's what I love about the fight community is you meet guys that are really cool. You just want to be around them and talk to them. I chatted with them a few moments, for more than a few moments before the fight, just about everything going on. Now, see what you see there? That's the effect of Palmer not having his balance right. Some of those hooks and right hands he's throwing, they're not being as effective for Palmer because his balance is not grounded. So he's always overextending or he's underextending so the shot never hits in range. We just watched Sanders land a great shot and he just happened to be a little more balanced and it was a good punishing shot. Who do you think won the round?
That was a close first round. I would say Palmer, and I'm going to give it to him just on the activity.
Yeah, close round. I could see one judge going one way, one judge going the other. But me personally, I would give it to Palmer just a little bit because he was moving around. He looked like he was in control of the fight. But Sanders really kept up a good punch count in his face, and he got that good shot in there at the end. Now, I don't know how the judges see that little that flurry that happened as the bell was happening. You never know. You never want to leave it to the judges for that reason right there.
And both fighters look pretty fresh coming off the stool, so that's a pretty refreshing thing for us to see.
Palmer comes out and he raises his hand, and every time to little friendly. This guy was a bit of a killer. He would capitalize on that and try and hit him in the body or something. That's what I would do. A little hand raise at the beginning of the fight is good, but after that, the fight's on. We know the respect is there. Now, what I like that Sanders is doing right now is he's popping that jab to his body. He's hitting him in the body. That's a good coaching adjustment, too, because he wasn't doing that when he started. And there's that right over top we were talking about, but Palmer is doing a good job keeping his hands up because he's aware it might come. Now this guy Sanders is actually, I'm looking at some of the things he's doing now in the second round, and it's a lot better.
I feel like he hurt us.
Yeah.
He's holding that left up a little bit better.
He's holding the left up better. He's jabbing to the body, and when they were in clinch close, he got his head underneath.
And there's some unloading there from Palmer, using his straight punches.
It didn't get in there, though. He had his hands up. It was a good reaction from the crowd, but I don't think it hurt him one bit.
Sanders is throwing back, using his straight punches. I feel like any of these rounds could be stolen pretty quickly.
Oh, very easily. Oh, but what I like what this kid Sanders is doing is he's just keeping his hands up. He's keeping them in his face. You can tell Palmer has got a good idea of how to punch and how to put a little mustard behind them punches. But because Sanders is keeping that jab in his face, he's also come over the top with the right or underneath.
Starting to mix in some combinations. Sanders is, and Palmer again with the aggressive.
To win this fight, Palmer's going to have to be aggressive because right now Sanders is using the jab. I mean, not a great jab, but he's using it the way you want to use it. He's using it to place that right hand, and he's not going to knock him out with that right. At least I would be very surprised if he did. But right now, and Palmer's lack of balance is making sure when he comes in like that, he ends up tying up, and that kills the momentum. You can't continue your attack if you do that because you get stopped and the referee's got to break you up, and then you got to start all over again. And that is not going to favor a guy that's going to be aggressive. That's going to favor the guy like Sanders, who is being just a little more patient right now.
Yeah, he's taking the boxing approach, I would say. He's using the jab. Everything starts with the jab.
See, there's a right hand. He tried to come up with the right hand, but he's not in position. So we want to see. We want to see if I was Palmer's corner, I would try and get him to calm down just a little bit, because right now if I'm a judge, I'm giving that round to Sanders. I think Sanders controlled that way better. He controlled that very well. His coach, his corner made a great adjustment, and it showed. There was no adjustment from Palmer.
Another close round. This is a good fight to start it off. Both these guys are in shape, and they're coming to bring the action. That's what I like to see.
And for anyone back watching who is a fan of the sport, the sweet science, and not just tuning in to see some slugging, you know, we watch this replay and we can see how his hands are up when that flurry happens. It's behind the shoulder, and he gets his hand up. It was a great reaction from the crowd, but this guy's being coached. He's being coached to the wall. I wouldn't be surprised if this continues. I wouldn't be surprised if they give the fight to Sanders.
And that's why the first thing you learn in the gym is to keep those hands up, and that's a perfect example why.
Because if you, no matter how bad a guy's punching power is, man, getting hit with that 8-ounce club and the wraps, that is not pleasant.
You know, Ed, I've found that getting punched in the face hurts.
And it hurts even more when they put something around your hand and make it. It's like getting hit with a cast.
This is true.
Now, you know, Palmer's corner right now, they got him calming down a little bit. Now he's trying to pop with the jab. He's trying to box a little more. That was a beautiful idea. He took that hook around to get him to think he was doing. There's that right, the right hand we were talking about. He's dropping it over. But what he did earlier, he swung that hook, and then when he went to block, he just dropped that right in there in the middle, and it connected. Very beautiful, very good idea. You can see there's a little bit of swelling around Palmer's eye from those shots.
Yeah, Sanders is starting to catch him with that right. He's slowing down, he's settling down, and he's setting it up.
Pawing the jab, but when he drops the right, he drops it. And that is not a bad strategy for victory. If you're not going to snap the jab, you got to snap that right, and he does it again.
Very traditional
great body
boxing
shot.
you're seeing from here.
Now, what Palmer's lack of balance is starting to do from two is now that Sanders is coming with a little bit of heat in front of the body, he cannot get out of the way. He can't move out of the way. So all Sanders has got to do whenever Palmer rushes in, whenever Palmer tries to square up and clutch up, all he's got to do is lower his head, and he's doing it every single time, and he's popping off Palmer. He's keeping Palmer from getting an attack going. And he's really putting good shots on him now.
He's starting to come out of his shell. Looks like cardio is not an issue for Sanders. Looks like Palmer might start to get frustrated a little bit.
Absolutely, and there he's again, hugging him up again, letting Palmer get the Sanders benefits from that more than Palmer does, because Sanders is fighting right now a calm fight.
You know, Palmer really keeps that left lead hand low. He's really open.
And so he's eating those rights. He's eating the rights up the middle. He's eating them over the side every now and then. And he's getting caught with uppercuts occasionally. Another great right. Just a great shot. You know, one of Sanders' weaknesses in this fight, this would be a clutch fight for him. He'd have it in the bag. But I'm a little worried because he doesn't know how to block that overhand right.
Yeah, he's struggling with that. Struggling with the defense on that.
He was lowering his head a little, which was a good idea. If he raises his left hand up and lowers his head, that right becomes the right ceases to exist. Sanders, I'd be shocked if all three judges didn't give that round to Sanders. I mean, he was mixing up with the body shots. He was hitting them across the head. I mean, maybe Palmer stole it a bit with some of those rights over the top that I don't believe were cleanly blocked. But overall, Sanders just fought a better round.
So if you're in the corner with Palmer, what are you telling him right now?
I'm telling him to calm down. That aggression is killing him because he's the aggressive fighter. There's that, I love these replays. This is great. The one when he tries to get out of the way to the right, he's trying to move back. If he was a little better, he would just put his hand up. He doesn't need to try and get out the way. He's not Gumby. He's a human being, and he don't have the flexibility to take his back all the way back. Just put his hand up. Block that shot. Defend. If I'm Palmer's corner, I'm telling him, at this point, it's the last round. Just go all out. I mean, if you're going to go out hard. Maybe you'll catch him with something. But right now, I think Sanders is winning this fight 2-1.
And the action begins for the fourth round. They touch gloves, and here we go.
And look how patient that if he hit that right over the top, and he tried it. But that's what he's trying to set him up for.
He's taking his time, measuring him up, trying to find his distance.
You know, and this strategy might work against him because he might give the fight away. I can't see the judge's scorecard, and my analysis is my analysis, but it is entirely possible that right now a judge has the fight the other way, 2-1 for Palmer. I definitely think the last round was for Sanders, but the other two, could go either way.
I would agree with that. This is a very good, close fight.
See, those body shots are going great. If he keeps that jab up to the body, he's going to win this fight.
Lead
He's actually got some great technique too, the Sanders kid. I mean, some of the shots he's throwing them with control. He just got to come bring it all together. His defensive ideas are not as sound as they should be. His offensive ideas, I like his offensive ideas, but that blocking, just moving your head back like we're in the Matrix or something, no. You're not dodging bullets out here. These are punches, and you got to roll with them. You got to ride with them, because when one of them catches you and you're off balance, you might get knocked down, and that's a point loss. And in a 4-round fight, you're definitely going to lose the fight. At the very least, you're going to eat the shot. You ain't got to eat.
He's certainly a traditional boxer, and I think he would benefit with a little bit more pop.
Now he's doing a great job. Wow.
Nice straight
right.
You know, I'd like to see Palmer not hold so much, break off, and throw some shots instead of hugging him. And he's starting to work that a little bit.
You know, at this point, if you want to seal this fight, if Sanders wants to seal this fight, now he needs to just step the gas up. But that's not how he's been fighting the whole round. That's just what I would tell him. He's got to stop letting these guys that sit on the outside, the aggressive fighter, stop sitting out there. Push into him. Push and make him fight. And make him make those mistakes he's been making with that balance he's keeping, that weight he's keeping on his front foot. This is making him ineffective completely. Excellent combo.
More of the same for Sanders in round 4. He's working traditional boxing. He's working his combinations, and he's connecting.
I like what this kid is doing, because he is not getting away from the game plan. The game plan is a winning game plan. Winning enough as long as he doesn't take a shot over the top from a right, which I'm still worried about. But this is a winning game plan.
Get in and get out.
If he does not let Palmer steal the fight, I think he's got this fight. Now I would bet 29, 39, 37.
Yeah, good fight to start it off.
That was a fantastic way to start it off. I really like watching that Sanders kid, you know, the way he came out good. He threw some good combinations, some good body work. Oh, what's up, Coach?
Yeah, looking at Sanders' record, I would say that this is one of those step-up fights for him. His first 2 fights looked like entry-level fights, fighting some guys who were not quite as records as where they should be.
I think these first 2 fights, if I'm looking at this correctly, they've got a combined record of 0-10.
Right. And as you know, that's not so uncommon in the boxing world.
Not at all. You got to step up and you got to develop. And I think he's got an idea. You know, when you got the right ideas, man, you can go far. Man, everyone's got different talents and different skills they bring when they first start learning this sport. And what I really liked watching Sanders do tonight was put the punches together and use his jab to set up the right and to be calm in there. When you can't teach calmness, man. And calmness when it gets crazy in there, when you got people looking and you get hit and you're not sure what's going on, if you can calm yourself down, man, that's an advantage. Some guys can't do it.
Yeah, he fights stepping it up, fighting a 21-fight veteran here in Eric Palmer, about a 500 record. Certainly no slouch here. These guys came to fight. That's what we like to see starting the show off.
And we'll get to the judge's decision soon. I got it 39-37 in my little mental calculator. I got a 39-37 for Sanders.
And you heard it first from Eddie Black Magic Lattimore.
Yeah. It could be wrong, but that's how it go. You make a bet, you gotta live and die with it.
Looking at Palmer, hearing him talk, you can see the frustration on his face. I think if he would have sat back a little bit more and took a more traditional approach, but he's being himself. He came. As you know, anyone who steps in that ring earns respect immediately from us.
Immediate respect, because you get in the ring and you're going against a guy. We'll get back to that. Here we are with the decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, come on, get loud. It went the distance, so we're going to the cards. Judge Garua scores the bout 39-37 Sanders. And both Santor and Casey score the bout 38-38. This bout has been declared a draw.